Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In case you're new to my channel, my name is Amy. I'm an online reseller. What that means is that I go to places like thrift stores and garage sales. I buy things that I can find for cheap to then resell online. I mainly do that on eBay and also a little bit on Poshmark and Mercari as well. So today, I know I'm a little late and a little behind on our What's Sold videos. And it's just, I've been busy. If you guys remember from the last couple videos, I was talking about, you know, some issues I had, kind of a major thing that happened to me like a month ago. I've still been recovering from that incident over the past month. I'm doing a lot better, but still not 100%. So, you know, that has taken a lot of energy away from me, just trying to get better from that. And the emotional toll and everything else dealing with that. And I think I also told you guys that same week that that incident happened, one of my cats passed away. And so that was rough. Just a lot of stuff. And then of course, you know that we started the holidays, we had Thanksgiving, and obviously that's a busy time with family and things like that. By the way, I hope you guys all had a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys are all getting into Christmas mode and getting excited for Christmas. We decorated our house like the weekend after Thanksgiving for Christmas. I absolutely love Christmas. So yeah, I mean, that's kept me busy too, getting, you know, ready for that, decorating, shopping, things like that. But I'm trying to get, you know, back on track here. Fourth quarter for us so far is picking up some, but to be honest, it's still not what I feel like it should be, which sucks. And I know that a lot of other people are dealing with the same. A lot of other people are killing it. So whatever camp you fall into, whether you're killing it or whether it's just kind of so-so or whether it just completely sucks for you, hey, these things are all normal. I've heard every, you know, one of those things going on from different people, so don't feel alone no matter what's happening with you. Ours is kind of definitely better than, you know, it was prior, you know, even like a month or so ago, but it's still not great, especially for fourth quarter. I guess it also sort of also depends on what you sell. Obviously, certain things do better at this time of the year than others, but we do have some really good sales. I want to go ahead and go over the week of November 12th through the 18th in this video, and then we will try to get caught up, because like I said, I know we're a little bit behind there. That's still, you know, more towards the beginning of November, and we're now at, let's see, today is December 4th. So I'm definitely a little behind, and I'm going to try my best to get us caught up. But let's go ahead and get into these sales from November 12th through the 18th. We have 16 sales to go over, so stick around for that. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump right into these sales. First up, we'll go over our eBay sales first, and then we only have a couple Poshmark sales that I want to go over. So most of these sales were from eBay, so let's go ahead and go over those real quick. First up, we had these Sorel women's boots. These we paid about $3.92 for at the bins, and they ended up selling on eBay for $45. So if you guys are new to my channel, you haven't heard me talk about the bins before. The bins are where you pay for everything by the pound instead of paying for each item individually. So it can be a great, cheaper way to source items. And Sorel is a really good brand to be on the lookout for. It's a popular brand and usually sells for pretty decent money like these. Next up are these Crocs women's sandals. Paid about $5.29 for these at a Goodwill on an out-of-town thrifting trip, and they ended up selling for $32. So that was a really good price for a pair of Crocs. I've talked to you guys before about don't sleep on Crocs. A lot of people think Crocs aren't worth anything, but they sell for us constantly and consistently. They're usually closer to the $20 to $25 mark, but for whatever reason, these ones were apparently more desirable and more valuable and did end up selling for $32. And they really didn't even take that long to sell either, which was super nice. All right, next up are these Skechers women's boots. These we paid about $2.64 for at the bins, and they ended up selling on eBay for $23. Skechers, it's another one probably don't sleep on, but I wouldn't just buy every kind of Skechers. It seems like these Skechers boots do okay, and certain other kind of Skechers do all right as well. But I wouldn't say just across the board that Skechers is a brand to pick up every single time. But just keep this in mind. Be on the lookout for maybe things like this. Next up is this sale of these 2 Columbia PFG men's shirts. We bought these for $10 combined, so they were about $5 a piece at a Goodwill on an out-of-town thrifting trip. They were the exact same size, basically the exact same style, just in 2 different colors. And we had a buyer reach out to us wanting to buy both and, you know, make a little bit of an offer for a little bit cheaper of an amount than we originally had them listed for. And since it was, you know, going to one buyer, we could save on shipping and things like that. We thought, you know, that would be worth it. So we ended up selling these to this one buyer for $30. So $10 into $30 isn't anything crazy, but these sold super fast. So it was, you know, a $10 into $30 flip very quickly. And again, when it goes to the same buyer like that, it's helpful because then you're getting rid of 2 items at once. You're giving them a good deal. You're able to, you know, make a little extra on shipping and things like that. So we were happy with that as well. Next up is this Tumi crossbody bag. Paid about $3 for this at a garage sale, and it ended up selling on eBay for $75. Tumi is an excellent brand to look out for. I don't find it that often. I've only found it a few times. I think at this particular garage sale, I found 2 different Tumi bags, and this is the first one of those 2 to sell. I've also found a Tumi like duffel bag at the bins before. And I think I maybe found Tumi maybe like one other time. It's not a brand I find all the time, but it is an excellent brand. It's high quality and it's very expensive, especially brand new. So it does very well in the resale market also. So always be on the lookout for Tumi if you can find it. Next up are these Circus by Sam Edelman women's boots. Paid about $4.26 for these at our local thrift store, and they sold for $23.98. That's not a brand that I constantly look for. I've picked them up a couple times, but I don't feel like they do as well as I thought they would. These actually sat for quite a long time, so it did not sell quickly, and it's not a brand that I'll pick up all the time. Next up are these Nike LeBron James men's shoes. Paid $4.26 for these at our local thrift store, and they ended up selling for $35. Obviously, Nike is a great brand, and certain shoes sell better than others. A lot of times, like, you know, the different basketball shoes, whether they're the LeBron James, the Kyries, things like that can do even better. A lot of people really like those special edition shoes. So just keep that in mind also. Next up is this Polo Ralph Lauren duffel bag. This was brand new with tags. Bought this for $4.38 at Goodwill. I actually bought, I think, like 3 or 4 of these at the same time, and I think this might be the last one to sell. I think we're sold out now, but this sold for $40. So this was a really cool thing to find at Goodwill. Like I said, they were brand new with tags, and there was like several of them that were like exactly the same. And actually, now that I have sold them and sold them for such good money, I kind of wish that I just bought them all. I didn't want to do that at the time because I wasn't sure how well they would do. And so I didn't buy them all. I just bought, like I said, I think there was like 3 or 4 of them I bought. And I mean, we've done really well with all of them. They sold for really good money. So I'm kind of regretting that now, that I didn't just go ahead and buy all of them. Just a lesson to, you know, everyone. If there's something that you think is going to do well and it's a good, cool brand, and especially if it's new with tags, maybe just buy it all if they've got lots of them. I mean, I guess I wouldn't do that across the board. Obviously, you know, like I said, I didn't do that in this situation because I was nervous too. But apparently with this item, I shouldn't have been nervous to do that. I should have went ahead and did it. But, you know, lesson learned, if I ever see something like this again, obviously I would go ahead and buy like all of them. All right, next up we have these New Balance men's shoes. Paid $3.62 for these at the bins, and they sold on eBay for $30. New Balance is another one that, you know, you don't want to buy every single time. Don't buy every New Balance you come across, but certain New Balance shoes do well. And I was actually surprised to find that out when I first found that out, because New Balance wasn't one that I ever would have thought was something that would sell for, you know, decent money. And some sell for, you know, more than this. I've definitely sold New Balance for more than this, $30, but even that's not bad, especially for shoes that we found at the bins so cheap. Next up are these Red Wing Irish Setter men's steel toe boots. Paid about $5.85 for these at the bins, and they ended up selling on eBay for $59.97. So there's several things good here. Red Wing is an excellent brand, and lots of people love Red Wing. Got a really good following. They're good quality. People will stand by Red Wing shoes. The Irish Setter of Red Wing is an even better addition, I guess, or style of Red Wings. That does even better than any other Red Wings. It's just more popular for whatever reason. And the fact that they're steel toe boots. Steel toe boots, a lot of times in almost any kind of brand, are going to do well. Steel toe boots are very expensive to buy when they're brand new, and a lot of people need them for the types of jobs that they do. So that's another thing to keep in mind. And next up are these Merrell men's shoes. Paid $12.35 for these at a Goodwill on an out-of-town thrifting trip, which was quite a bit to pay for us. We do not typically pay that much. They did end up selling for $29.97. So again, not too crazy of a profit, but still making a profit. This was a situation where we went on an out-of-town thrifting trip and found that a lot of the prices in the Goodwills in the areas we were at were more expensive than what we're used to paying around us. And, you know, we obviously still wanted to find inventory. That was the purpose of this trip. So we did pay up for some things. Next up is this Guitar Hero Metallica game for the PlayStation 2. This I only paid 73 cents for at a garage sale. This was a garage sale where I found a whole bunch of video games. I forget exactly how many there were, but I basically asked her if she would just take one price for all of them, which made them end up being like 73 cents each. And this was awesome. This was one of the best games out of the entire lot. This one ended up selling for $39.97. So a lot of these special edition Guitar Hero games from certain bands like Metallica are going to do better than just your basic Guitar Hero. So just keep that in mind if you're ever on the lookout for video games. All right, next up is this Pampered Chef stoneware loaf pan. Paid only $1 for this at a garage sale, and this ended up selling for $20.03. And the final one from eBay was another Pampered Chef stoneware casserole pan. Paid $1 for this at the same garage sale. This one ended up selling for $24.97. So if you ever find anything by Pampered Chef, you might do well with that. This is the first time I've found and resold Pampered Chef items, so I don't know if it's across the board that they're always going to do well. But, I mean, obviously I took a chance with these, especially since they only cost me $1 at this garage sale anyway. I figured it was worth it. I knew I'd be able to sell them for something, and one sold for $20, the other for almost $25. So like I said, definitely did well with those. So maybe do your research. If you find Pampered Chef stuff, it might be worth it, especially if you can get it for cheap. And let's go ahead and go over the 2 Poshmark sales. First up is this NAOT women's shoes. Paid about $1.80 for these at the bins, and they sold for $40. So that was really awesome. I pick up this NAOT or NAOT or however you say it, shoes from time to time, not every single time. These ones did really well, so I was happy with that, especially since we had such a low cost of goods at the bins for these. And finally, the greatest sale of the week came on Poshmark. These were for these Dan Post cowboy boots. Paid only about $4.23 for these at the bins, and they sold on Poshmark for $115. So that was a very awesome find. I believe these were vintage. Anytime you can find vintage cowboy boots, especially with certain brands, like Dan Post is a good one, you can usually sell them for pretty good money. So just another thing to keep in mind and keep your eye out for there. So that's it. Those are our 16 sales from that week. I hope to have another video up for you guys soon with the next week's sales, and then the next week. I hope to get those rolling very quickly for you guys. Again, hopefully everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Hope everybody has a really good Christmas coming up. Hopefully, obviously, I'm going to talk to you guys again before Christmas. But hopefully you guys are getting in the Christmas spirit, having a good time. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any comments or questions. If you want to tell me how your sales have been going during this 4th quarter. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, because that way you'll see every time I post new videos. You'll be notified. And make sure you give this video a like if you liked it. It will help the video and help my channel. Until next time, keep on hunting for that hidden treasure.